Hello, first one in again. You must just be like waiting for me every day, huh? Hi everyone, how we doing? And of course, Bite was up in his room up until about 5 minutes ago, and then he heard me tinkering around with a laptop, and now he's down here. Because that's how it always works, isn't it? Hmm? Yeah. Little attention, little kitty treats. Oh, here comes Nibble too. She wants hers. Funny, the only time she's ever downstairs during the day is when we're doing a live stream. Unless I leave the laptop going for them while I'm at work, and then they don't want anything to do with it. Then they go wherever the laptop isn't. Hi everyone, how are we doing today? Looks like little Miss Nibble is going to pop out here in a second, right there, because she wants her kitty treats, doesn't she? You knocked it out of my hand. What did you think? Hey, you're just a klutz, aren't you? Yeah, since he's right here, we'll let him be the mascot here. Are they playing with the new cat toys? A little bit, yes. Um, Unfortunately, I'm not able to catch them doing it on camera. They just seem to kind of play with it on their own. Yeah, Nibble's over there scratching on the scratching pad right now. And but unfortunately, they seem to wait until like 4 in the morning to play with it. I heard them playing with it this morning before, way before I got up. So I think that's kind of their active time. That's when they're out doing everything that they're going to do. During the day, they just kind of tend to want to sleep and eat, and they'll of course interrupt their sleep pattern to come down for kitty treats. That's just how it is. So what's everybody doing today? I just got back from doing my vlog today. So once we get done with the live stream here, we'll go edit that and we'll go from there. We'll probably mention this a couple times today, but just a just a reminder, on Sunday at 3 o'clock Texas time, I'm going to do a live stream, and my mom has agreed to come on and do a telephone call. So we're gonna we're gonna do that, and I hope you all stop by and say hi, because we had a good time doing that with my dad a couple months ago, and I think it'll be fun with my mom too. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate that. Yeah, I thought that one turned out really good. I was excited when I saw how much water was flowing over that waterfall, because you remember in the past, the first time I went there, it was completely bone dry. Second time I went there was just this little trickle of water going through, and yeah, it was a little bit bigger this time. Yeah, it was really fun even to be real nearby it. One of the I mentioned on one of the comments this morning on that video that I actually was having to scream pretty loud just to make sure I could be heard over the sound of the river. Actually was really, really impressed how well the camera and the microphone did with that though. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be fun when my mom comes in. We'll be able to, be able to ask her questions, and it's gonna be the same kind of routine as it was when my dad did it a few months ago, where he'll just call in, she'll just call, well, I'll call her on the phone, probably get us 10 or 15 minutes into it just so we get a bunch of people in here. And, we'll call her in and just like before, what I'll do is I'll just kind of read questions off the screen because she can't necessarily read the comments and talk at the same time just because, I don't think she has a YouTube channel. And so I don't know if she can actually see the questions there, but that's how we did it with my dad too. He didn't have a YouTube account at the time, and he just called in, and I just asked questions. So my mom's doing fine. She's still kind of stuck in her room. They're not letting anybody out. Uh, we were kind of going back and forth yesterday on the phone. What she needs to do is she's got some like legal documents that are coming in all the time, and my brother-in-law is kind of an investment broker, and so he's kind of being the front person for dealing with all that stuff. And unfortunately, he needs to kind of see what's happening. And so what we've been trying to do is get my mom to figure out how to shoot a photograph of a document and then text it to my brother-in-law so that he could actually see what's going on. And my mom isn't really that good with the technology, so she struggles a little bit with that. But she's been doing better. The big problem she had was she knew how to take a picture, but she didn't know how to attach it to her text message. Well, apparently she kind of figured out how to do that yesterday, and so she was texting me pictures of different pieces of furniture around the house and stuff like that. And so she's getting there. Now we just got to get her to the point where she knows how to, really focus on a document, get the document on the screen, snap the photo, and then make it look good. Right now, she's got this. She tends to, if this is the thing she wants to do, she'll just, kind of take a picture of it from a distance here and think that'll work. And unfortunately, she needs to kind of get right on top of it to get the document well. And she doesn't quite have that worked out yet, but we're working on her. I think we're 90% of the way there, that we got her to the point where she can attach a photograph to a text message. Now it's just a matter of getting her to shoot documents clearly enough so they can be read. Hello, Great Falls, Montana. Yeah, I really kind of enjoyed going down to the waterfall yesterday. Well, it was a couple days ago I did that, but I think that was probably, what was that, Sunday? I think I did that. It's funny, the other two times I've been there, that place has been completely abandoned, but there were all sorts of people there on Sunday. So, yeah, that shows how seriously we're taking the social distancing here. Actually, I got Bite isn't really showing his butt because there, now he's showing his butt, right? You like showing your butt, huh? Yeah, no more butt shots. Yeah, yeah, I'm ready to go back to work. I'm hoping one of the problems we've been having there lately is that there's a lot of people that are just calling in sick. The company's been really serious about this coronavirus thing, and if there's any chance whatsoever that somebody may have been infected, or even in the proximity of somebody who may be infected, they're putting them on quarantine. Unfortunately, that's affecting workload right now because so many people are out on quarantine that it's trouble. It's becoming a problem to kind of keep all the lines going. So hopefully we're kind of getting to the point where we're past that a little bit. Any good videos coming soon? I think they're all good. I'm doing a cooking vlog. The one you're going to see tonight is a cooking vlog. What was it I did yesterday? Yesterday I did a house hunting vlog, so you'll see that tomorrow. And then I just did another hike today, so you'll see that in a couple days. So yeah, they're all good. They're all the best video that's ever been made. Hi, Lorelei. How's it in Canada today? Nice and cool. People's lives are more important than work, but if we shut down the economy, that's gonna have a really really bad effect too when everyone starts starving to death because there's no food. Hey, Nibble. Someone was just asking about you. There's Nibble. She wants some more kitty treats. Of course. Trying to avoid using my thumb and index finger because a couple of days ago when I was doing a cooking vlog, I ended up slicing up my finger really well, and it hurts a little bit. And I don't want either bite or nibble biting my finger because that would make it hurt even more. They're just not used to taking it between the thumb and the middle finger. They're used to taking it between the thumb and index finger. So they don't know where to look. Ow! See, that's why I don't want to. I don't. That's why I don't want you to have access to that finger. Because as unpleasant as that was, it'd be much worse if you bit my owie. Right, bite? No owie biting. Need a band? Well, no, not really anymore. It isn't. It isn't bleeding anymore, and sometimes it's a good idea just to kind of let air get to it because it heals faster. Because pulling the slicing tool out of the food processor, it's got that one sharp knife, and apparently I hit it just right, and yikes, that hurt. Got some snow in Michigan today, huh? That sounds like fun. Yeah, well, what I did is I immediately kind of covered it up when I was doing the vlog, and basically kind of kept it covered for the rest of the evening. But when I go to bed, I don't like to keep it covered when I'm in bed because at that time that's the perfect time to let it get a little air and give it a chance to start healing. Generally if you keep it in a band-aid or something like that, it tends to stay moist and then takes longer to heal. It tends to hurt more too. Once you get a good scab in there, it's usually pretty good. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's why I'm using the index finger or the middle finger and the thumb instead of the index finger. That way, if they bite me, it's just a finger. It's nothing serious. I can just imagine, because this is still real sensitive, and when I'm like typing and stuff like that, I have to kind of favor it a little bit too. Yeah, Neosporin usually works pretty well. I've been known to do that too. Usually not just for a cut though. Just keep it clean and protected. Take the camera up a little bit here so I don't have to slouch so much. Probably help my back a little bit, right? So what's everybody doing today? Keeping yourself busy, staying home, or going out and or breaking quarantine and going out and doing something? I just went out and got back from a nature hike, so it's always good to get out and stretch the body a little bit, get a little fresh air in the lungs. It's always fun. Yeah, virus is definitely slowing down. It's they're making a big deal out of the fact that there's more cases right now in America than there are anywhere else in the world. But with the exception of China, you know, most of the countries that they're comparing us against, Germany, England, France, Italy, they got 1/6 their population. So you look at it per capita, they're still beating, they still have more than us. But whatever. Riding a bike, yeah, that sounds like fun too. Oh, Nibble's back. Hey, Nibble. Always comes around when she wants a kitty treat. Yep. She's getting to be a little bit like Bite. She lunges at it now and sometimes overshoots and gets the finger. And that one went all the way up to the first knuckle. You got my entire first knuckle in your mouth, didn't you? The Nibble walks away, the treats get locked up. That's just how it is. I guess we can keep the co-star on here. Nibble wants a treat, definitely does. Hi Jenny, how are you? Welcome to the group. Let's get whenever I'm not there, whenever I'm not actually doing anything on the computer, at least as far as the computer is concerned, it thinks, oh, now's a good time to run a virus check. And it's like, no, I don't want you, interfering with what's going on here for a virus check. You hear that? Jenny says you're cute. She don't know you very well, though, does she? It's just an act. Yes, it is. Just an act, so I'll keep giving you the kitty treats. That one down there, too. I'm doing good. Yeah, we're just kind of doing our thing here. I just got back from doing today's video, so time to kind of relax now and do a live stream. Right, Nibble? You like live streams, don't you? As you're licking your chops. Every time I move the TV tray, though, with the computer on, she runs away. So, hi, Jennifer. How are you, everyone? How are you doing today? Yeah, I do go back to work tomorrow. I'm hoping they've got some of the personnel issues dealt with. They've got a lot of people right now who are off on quarantine because they're taking like ultimate safety precautions to, make sure that nobody gets into the facility that's infected. It's crazy though because I'm sitting there and watching there's like an interactive map that you can look at that will tell you, where the virus is distributed. And I look at my part of the state of Texas map, and there's like 60 or 70 people in McLennan County, which is where I live, which is where Waco is, that supposedly have this thing, and there have been only two fatalities. So I think sometimes they're overreacting a little bit. I was trying to figure out what the Tonkawa Falls is part of. I don't think it's part of the Bosque. It seems to be a little too far south of that. In fact, when I was looking at it, trying to trace its path on the map, the map doesn't even show it as a river. So obviously it's a river now, but I couldn't figure out exactly what it was, what part of the river it was. So it's just probably some little thing that just every once in a while it just kind of roars through Crawford and does its thing like it did the other day. What's the subject for today's show? Today's show is going to be a cooking vlog. Um, and by the way, I've already eaten everything that I made on that one, so sorry, no takeout. Yeah, the company's taking incredible precautions. I'll tell you, if there's one thing you want to invest in right now, it's the people that are making all those social distancing signs that you see on the ground everywhere. Somebody is making a ton of money making those things, and I wish I'd thought of that about 4 weeks ago and started working on that because I bet you I could have really cleaned up. But one of the things that they're doing at work is they're giving basically they're checking everyone's temperature when they come into the building, and while they're taking a bunch of other precautions too, they've put these kind of plates on the door that you can kind of, rather than having to grab the doorknob and risk touching something, that you can kind of get your arm behind the plate and you can pull the door open by pulling on the plate without actually touching it with your arm. And then of course they're encouraging you to use your feet to open the door from the inside. So I am kind of running out of things to do filming right now just because so many things are locked down. You can't go to many of the areas. That's why it's been so many, nature hikes and stuff like that lately. Well, I mean, there's kind of two reasons for that. One is it's hard to go anywhere else, and two, it's also the fact that I'm trying to do it a little bit for people who are locked in and can't get a lot of outdoor time. Because Texas is kind of hasn't gone quite as crazy in terms of locking everything down as some states have. So I'm definitely taking advantage of that, and people are really taking the advice and staying in for the most part. But no, I didn't see that Disneyland was planning temperature checks when they open again. But I don't know. We'll see. I heard that just a couple of days ago that they basically furloughed 30,000 employees from Disneyland. Basically told them, yeah, I don't think it's an issue where they're fired and never coming back. I think they're just doing that officially on paper so people can go collect unemployment and stuff like that. Because right now, if it's just a temporary layoff, there's only so much you can do. Now, I think the temporary layoff that they did start with, they were actually paying people, but I'm thinking they were probably guessing that it was going to be a week or two, and now we're like 3 or 4 weeks into it. So are there ghost towns in Texas? Yeah, well, when I went to downtown Waco a couple weeks ago, it's definitely sounded like Waco was a ghost town. There was like nobody out there. Yeah. At least we got him facing forward this time, so you're not seeing his butt, right? Yeah, well, I'm hoping it isn't going to go till August. We have to really balance this because, we're talking about a disease that isn't really that lethal, and we have to balance, the public health with, what happens if we shut the whole economy down for 6 months and everyone starves to death. You know, we got to be a little bit more intelligent with this, and I think we've kind of overdone it a little bit. They're making a big deal about, how, they make a big deal about every time, a young person dies of this, but it's actually very, very rare. I heard an interesting statistic a couple of days ago. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but the statistic says that more people over 100 years old have died from this thing than the total number of young people that have died. So I don't know. I think the media is just they're whipping it up. They're trying to create fear, and I think it's a little bit overdone. I haven't visited the Branch Davidian site yet. I'm going to hit that at some point. Please say the word on my T-shirt. No, I can't. Not even I can do it. Although if you can look if you see the red at the bottom, I don't know how well that's coming in, but that kind of says it phonetically of how all of this is pronounced. If you hear that, they'd rather see your head than your butt. Can you imagine that? It's crazy, isn't it? Somebody want to see that face. Is that word Norwegian or Swede? No, it's Icelandic. You remember a few years ago there was a volcano on Iceland that erupted, that basically spewed ash all over all of Europe and basically grounded all the airlines there from the ash coming out. Yeah, that's the name of the volcano. Very few people in the news when they were reporting on it could actually say the word, so they just refer to it as the Icelandic volcano. But that's actually what it's called. Yeah, it's true that a lot of people are carrying the virus and are asymptomatic. That's the thing. Who knows how many of us have had the virus and didn't even know we had it. Because there's some people that have just very mild symptoms of it. And for the most part, young people that get it, there's something else that's happening there, not just the virus itself. Yeah, I know. I agree with you that that the some of the state governors are really revealing who they really are, by locking down things totally. And you're hearing stories about uh, people getting tickets when they park their car in the church parking lot and don't leave the car to listen to like a service that's broadcast on the radio, or some guy that gets arrested when he's out in the middle of the ocean on a paddle board and stuff like that. It's just crazy. Did Nibble go back upstairs? I don't know. Nibble, where are you? Yeah, she's just on the stairs. I see her. Yeah, you're right. The red does kind of bleed into the gray. There's also a problem that comes with this social distancing. There's something called herd immunity that we need to factor in. Basically, it just says that the disease will stop being an issue as soon as we all have the antibodies for it. And the way you get the antibodies is you get the disease. And when we're all kind of social distancing, that kind of makes it difficult to get the herd immunity, right, Nibble? Got to stick it under his nose, or he'll try and go for the index finger. Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense if you have like a meat plant that's where you have people, then that's definitely something you want to close down. But yeah, bye, Jennifer. Hope if you get a chance, stop back in. We're just starting this. I usually go for 2 hours. We're only about 33 minutes into it. So yeah, get a chance, stop back in, say hi. Yeah, I agree. The world has definitely been turned upside down with this. And I think a lot of it is overreaction. I mean, in the United States, it's still, one person in 1,000 that gets this disease. And of that, 98% of them survive. So, do the math. It's not as big of an issue as they're making it out to be. H1N1, in what, 2009 or whatever it was, that was 60 million people infected. And, we didn't do anything crazy like that. Yeah, but it's also true that these diseases kind of tend to run their course, and it's horrible for the people that are affected by it, but it tends to hit the vulnerable people, and then it just kind of winds down. We're kind of getting to the point right now where this disease is going to wind down, and then we're going to have to deal with rebuilding the economy of the world, and that's going to be, there's going to be, I think, more downsides to our reaction to the virus than to the virus itself. Yeah, I don't know enough about the genetics of it, but I'm guessing it probably is just a variant of the flu. Yeah, and even with the swine flu, though, we didn't shut down the economy. We didn't do the social isolating. You didn't see people walking around with masks and being and hoarding toilet paper and hand sanitizer. We just went on with our lives, right? But you remember H1N1, don't you? I don't remember doing any of this nonsense. Do you? No staying in your house, no social distancing, no everyone going into panic mode when somebody coughs or sneezes, and no media whipping us up about it. See, that's where it all starts, really. Yeah, I agree, Jenny. That's exactly what's going on. The media is just they're doing everything they can to make this the worst disaster that's ever happened. And it isn't. It isn't really that lethal, right, Nibble? It isn't that bad, is it? We're just kind of freaking ourselves out about it. Yeah, I don't really tend to believe a whole lot that I read at Wikipedia because Wikipedia, it is the people that write the articles on those things, they aren't necessarily experts, and there isn't really a very good editing process to make sure that it's the truth and not just rumors that are getting posted on there. So I don't know how much I'd depend on Wikipedia for that. It's maybe a good starting point, but you gotta back up everything and make sure everything's that you're reading and absorbing is actually accurate. And I don't think you always get the truth at Wikipedia. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know, but what do you think? What do you think of Wikipedia? Huh? Yeah, yeah, I know. That's your answer to everything. Thanks for showing everyone your teeth. Guess it's better than showing everyone your butt, though, which is what you usually do. Yeah, but we got to keep going back to the fact that yes, some people are dying with this, but for the most part, it's really, really limited to the very elderly, and so we need to protect them. And in the cases where it's younger people that are going, there's something else going on there that's caused problems, and this is just kind of the thing that pushes it over the edge. We just need to relax a little bit. Not like I said before, the best thing we can do is just turn the TV off. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome to the live stream. Nibbles just down here. She won't quite come up to the chair yet, but she'll come up here and take naps on here when I'm not here. But she's not quite brave enough to come up onto the couch like the bitester is here. Well, even if they do have a vaccine for it in 2 years, it's not going to really matter because these things mutate. That's why we can't cure the flu because every year it mutates into something else and then it doesn't work. Yeah, Nibble's definitely getting more used to this place and getting used to the live streams. You remember that she would never come down here for kitty treats early on, and now she does. So yeah, it's probably just a matter of time. She'll come up here and join us. What needs to happen is she just needs to do it once or twice and see, hey, good things happen when I do that. Just as she learned that good things happen when she comes and sits here on the floor because then she gets kitty treats. So well, like I said earlier, Joey, one person in 1,000 has this disease in America, at least, and so basically it's the same elsewhere in the world. And 98% of them are going to recover. So it's a one in 1,000 chance somebody, and 98% chance that they'll survive if they get it. So yeah, and that's the way it is, really. Very few people even know anyone who has it. But here we are. Yeah, we hear of a few actors that get it, or a few famous people that get it, and a couple of who've died from it. But oh, I agree. One is too many, but we have to balance protecting our health with protecting our economy because if the economy collapses, we all die because we're all going to starve to death. And it isn't worth it to shut down the economy in order to protect something that really isn't that lethal. To protect us from something that isn't really that lethal. Ugh. Right, bite? Well, and that's one of the things too. We're going to have to actually look at the actual numbers of this thing because they're saying basically if you have the virus and you die, that you've died of the virus. So if you have the virus and you're out in a car and you get in a car accident and the car accident kills you, you're said to have died of the coronavirus. And you know we got to focus on that too because that's just that's not what's going on. That's more of just people getting whipped up and frightened by the media, and that's just as bad, and if not worse, than the actual disease itself. Yeah, nobody's requested it yet, but how about a belly rub? Everybody seems to like the belly rubs. If you'd be a little bit more personable, Nibble, you could get belly rubs too. Do they know how it started, or is it still a mystery? They've tracked it to one of these wet meat markets in China. I think they were serving exotic meat, and I think I've been hearing like scientists have been looking at bats in China to try and figure out if that's where the if that's where it came from. See if they can see the virus in the bats. Yeah, Governor Abbott in Texas is doing the same thing. But he hasn't been one of these little mini tyrants and locking people down and you know doing all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of good. I've still got a lot of freedom. Like I said, I've been going out just when I need to. I'm practicing the social distancing, but I'm going out and doing hikes in the woods and stuff like that. And that's all a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that, and people enjoy watching that. So yeah, we just gotta keep our heads together. That's all it is. Jenny's gonna go walk the puppies. That sounds like a good thing. Yeah, I don't know if they know exactly where it came from, but they're blaming it on these wet markets in China, which basically, they slaughter the meat right there and hang it up, and who knows how, what's happening, who knows where the meat's coming from, and you know, like I said, the number one theory right now is I think that they believe it came from bats, and like I said, right now they're looking at bats in China to see if they can detect the virus in them, because that would definitely confirm what's going on there. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Ralph. A 90-year-old person is the kind of person we really need to be protecting. And that's where our efforts should be. It's not maybe such a bad idea to be, locking down senior apartments like my mom's place has done. Keeping them safe and until we get past this. But shutting down the whole economy has definitely been an overkill. I heard about it not liking heat. Well, generally viruses don't like heat because they require moisture in order to survive. Now, this particular virus isn't airborne. A lot of people think it is, but what ends up happening, the way this virus is transmitted is basically somebody coughs or sneezes into their hand, then they touch something, which infects that something, then somebody else touches it, and then they touch their eyes or mouth or nose, and that's how it's transmitted. So just wash your hands a lot when you go out in public, and don't touch your eyes and nose and mouth when you're out in public. Hey, Nibble, you got anything to add to that? Yeah, she runs away when you turn the TV tray around, but second you reach for the kitty treat, she's right back. Yeah, you dropped it. That's your fault, dude. Knock it out of my hand. Didn't even realize you knocked it out of my hand. All right, Nibble's given up. Fight never gives up, though. Yeah, and that's a big part of it too, Anne, is that there's a lot of conspiracy theories going on about there. There's a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about that are, expressing viewpoints and they aren't backed up with fact. Yeah, I know. When you're dealing with a lawsuit, I agree. When you're dealing with a lawsuit, you really need to focus on, is there negligence involved there? Not, hey, there's some disease that nobody's ever heard of that killed a few people and you didn't do enough to protect it. It's like, no, what? Wait, what? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you're right. It's crazy with the lawsuits. It's like the tide eating people, Tide Pod eating people. You hear about all these crazy lawsuits. Somebody orders coffee, burns their mouth on it, and sues the place because the coffee was hot. It's like, that's what coffee is, right? Yeah, I haven't heard what exactly the path was, but I've heard, basically that just a lot of people think that it came from bats or some of the exotic animals that they're serving in these wet markets. Hi, Shirley. Welcome to the group. Yeah, see that would be a good approach to take is just listen to somebody that knows what they're talking about and turn off the TV. Really, it comes down to that. Because I mean, let's face it. The talking heads on TV, they don't know anything. They only know what they're programmed to read. They know what's on the teleprompter. Right, bite? Yeah. Ugh. Jump up here again. There he is. There's the bite man. Yeah, I went to Tonquana Falls. I have problems pronouncing it. It was pretty wild the other day. Had to make mac and cheese for lunch. That sounds like a good lunch. Yeah, I can't ever complain about mac and cheese. I got a little mac and cheese in the fridge too. Just something that came out of a package though. Nothing in the instant pot this time. Yeah, I know, wasn't it? That waterfall was insane. I couldn't believe how much water was blowing through there. That was definitely way beyond flood stage. Because, like I said, it wasn't just coming down the river channel; it was like coming down from the sides. You know, the the little road that goes over the top of it was limiting where it could go. Does Jaw like the cats? I think Jaw likes the cats more than the cats like Jaw. Let's put it that way. I don't think it's ever going to be a friendship that's meant to last because Jaw's first instinct is to chase and bite, and Nibble's first instinct is to run. So kind of a match made in hell, right? But you're not a huge fan of Jaw, are you? You're going to deal with him for a few months now, have you? Probably don't even remember him. When I was getting close shots of the rapids and the falls, you were scared I was going to slip. Obviously, you didn't. Yeah, I mean, here's a little spoiler alert. If you're watching the video online, I obviously survived because that means I made it home. I was able to edit the video and upload the video. So if you're watching it, yeah, I'm okay. At least until I get home and edit and upload the video. I think the scene I was most concerned about was at the end when I was underneath the bridge. I think like the last water scene, especially when I put the camera down on the tripod and just let it watch the water for a little while. I was concerned that just a little bit of surge on that river could actually have come to where I was. But for the most part, everything else, I was further away from things than it would look from the camera. So, you know, I'm not going to do anything that's really, really stupid. Marginally stupid, yeah, I'm all over that. But really, really stupid, nah. Yeah, I definitely agree that the medical team and the frontline workers they deserve all of our respect right now. Your town has been handing out red bows for everyone to show support for the workers. That sounds like a great idea. Did I grow up in California? Yeah, I lived in California all my life until I moved here last May. So it's been almost a year now. Crazy, huh? Yeah, those falls were crazy. I knew when I was walking up to it that I could hear the water flowing, but I didn't know it was going to be like that. I figured it was just going to be normal. And if you look at the thumbnail for that video, that's what it looks like normal. But when I got out there and it's like, whoa, this is insane. This is like the Colorado River blowing through here right now. Yeah, I don't know, the history of that road there, but yeah, whatever. That's where they did it. So the falls are still real pretty, and I do actually think the road looks pretty nice over it too. You watch the weather, and that's it. That's probably a good idea, at least right now. Don't sit there and fall for the media and they're attempting to make you afraid. Yeah, the flash floods in Palm Desert can be can be pretty serious because it doesn't even need to be raining near where you are. It could be raining 100 miles away, and all of a sudden, whoosh, here it comes. All right, we got our first troll of the day. Probably should have just known by looking at the name. Right, but what do you think of trolls? Yeah, just pathetic losers, right? Bite's looking at the kitty treats again, trying to make me feel guilty. Yeah, I suppose that the flash floods could happen in Texas too. I mean, that the falls that I saw the other day, that's a perfect example of that. You get too close to there. If your house was too close to that little stream that was blowing through there, it wasn't a stream the other day. Stephanie ordered an instant pot. You'll enjoy it. I'm enjoying mine. Have the cats been playing with their new toys? Yeah, I haven't really caught them a lot on camera doing it. Uh, but I heard bite or nibble. I don't know who it was playing with the scratching post at about 4 this morning. Like in the bottom of it, there's like a little ball that they can reach their paw in there and bat at it. And I heard that this morning. I don't know if it was this guy or his sister, but somebody was having fun with that. And I'm not even sure where the little feather thing is right now. The problem with things that walk is they tend to walk away. Your daughters are losing their mind watching me, and they're calling me Uncle Breck. Oh, that's cool. I guess I could think of something worse. I've been called worse things, right, Bite? Hi, Nicola. Yeah, I'm doing good. Going back to work tomorrow, so I'm getting ready for that. Do I miss California? No, no, not for a second. In fact, when I was back there for my father's funeral a few weeks ago, I couldn't get out fast enough. I actually ended up leaving early just because I wanted to get back here because I had to go back to work, and at the time it looked um, like California might potentially lock down completely, and I didn't want to get stranded there. So yeah, the cats are playing with the new toys. Like I said, I haven't caught a lot of it on camera yet because they do it mostly at 4 in the morning or something like that. I'm not going to go so far as to say COVID-19 is a hoax. It's real and it's killing people, but the reaction has been an overreaction. That's the problem. You know, our cure is worse than the disease. Right, Bite? Are we overreacting to this whole thing? You have quite the life. You don't even need to worry about it. I bet you don't even know what coronavirus is, do you? Only thing you care about is eating, getting kitty treats, and taking naps. Right? That's quite the life. And you too. You got quite the life too, don't you? Just come out here, wait for the kitty treats. When the kitty treats aren't there, go upstairs, get something to eat, go up on your shelf and take a nap. Come down, make a lot of racket at 4 in the morning. Ow, dude, really? You got two fingers on that one. Was it in my backyard that I found the kitties? Yes. Yeah, they were when they were 5 weeks old. It actually happened over a period of a couple of days. We had just come back from my mom taking my mom out for her birthday, uh, and I could have sworn I saw something moving in the planters. But I was there to entertain my mom, and so I didn't really investigate it. But then the next day, I kind of was in the backyard, and I saw a bite up on top of the planter, and said, "Oh, there's a kitty there." And I went after him, and he dove down behind he dove down behind the planter, and then I looked down there and I saw Nibble there, and yeah, that was how I got them. Yeah, yeah. Somebody was mentioning that earlier that there's at least one meat plant that was shutting down, and I sort of understand that, because meat definitely sounds like a good way to transmit the virus. And from what I heard, a whole bunch of the meat packers and the workers there had the virus, so it's probably a good idea. Yeah, everyone be nice to each other right now. Okay, yeah, George, let's kind of ease off on the political stuff. We're not doing political here. Just we can talk about it without blaming one side or the other. That's crazy. This is this is a virus, and it's not no one's fault. Now, maybe it's China's fault, but that's a different subject. Yeah, I don't know. Some people just they want to see politics and everything, and I don't think this is politics. You know, this is just a virus, and we just have to deal with it. And it isn't Democrats and it isn't Republicans. It's something we have to work together. Yeah, that's a good way. Let's steer away from that topic. My mom is doing well. She's still locked up in her apartment, but she's doing fine. She's been figuring out how to text to shoot a picture of something and then send the picture to somebody via text messaging. She has to do that because she's still getting a little legal paperwork that she needs to process. So she's not really good at all that. And my brother-in-law is kind of the front person on all that. So what she needed to do is have the ability to just shoot a picture of a document and then text it to somebody. And she struggled with that for a few days, but she's getting to the point now where she's got a handle on that. So uh, that should get a little bit better. And so that's how she's been dealing with it. I think she's turning off the TV, which is a good thing. That's my advice to everyone right now. And she's reading, and I think just talking to people on the phone. So um, since we're talking about my mom, though, let's say this again on Monday, or I'm sorry, on Sunday, this coming Sunday at 3 p.m. Texas time. That's 5 hours before my videos normally go live on a daily basis. So calculate whatever that time is. You know what time my videos go live. Subtract 5 hours from that. I am going to do a live stream on Sunday, and my mom is going to call in and she's going to talk to you. So, I'm teasing that like crazy now. I want to get everyone in here as possible. So definitely come by and say hi to my mom because she'd love to talk to you. This Sunday, 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 Sunday. Well, you're not going to see my mom. You're going to hear from my mom. It's going to be like when my dad called in. She's just going to, well, I'm going to call her on the phone and and we'll go from there. But what I'll do is, I'll read your questions to her and she can answer them. Okay, Kathy says 9 p.m. London time. So that's that sounds about right. So it won't be too late. I figured since it was a Sunday, I kind of wanted to arrange it so that everybody who is going to church would be home from church that day. And then I started thinking, wait a second, nobody's going to church because all the churches have been kind of shut down. So in terms of what would be in Brisbane, Australia, tell me what time the my videos normally go live, and it would be 5 hours earlier. So if my videos normally go live for you at like 5 in the morning, then it'll be like midnight or something like that. You get the 3 quart instant pot duo, huh? Yeah, I was really excited when she decided that she was going to do this. I actually talked to her about it a couple weeks ago and told her, how much people you guys enjoyed talking to my dad when we did that. And I asked her if she'd do it, and she said, "Yeah, let me think about it for a little while." And then she called a few days later and says, "Yeah, I've thought about it, and I'm going to do it. I have one stipulation." And I said, "Okay, what's that?" And she says, "I want you to wait until after I get a chance to get my hair done." I said, "Mom, you're going to be calling in on the phone. Nobody's going to see you." I told her, you could do it naked if you want. Nobody would know. So we got her to lift that stipulation. Do I feel comfortable being on the machines at work? I'm getting there. All of the machines, they kind of do the same thing, but they all have they're all a little bit different. Some of them are older than others, and how they each have their own little quirks and personalities. And so, I'm kind of learning them, but the ones that I've been on a little bit for a few days, I'm getting to the point where I know pretty well. Yeah, the Instant Pot isn't really that hard to use. Start off with something really simple. I've been steaming vegetables, and that's great. I bought a little inner, like a little straining dish on Amazon that goes in the Instant Pot. And that's great for vegetables. You pour about a cup of water in there, you put your vegetables in there, and you can pressure cook your vegetables in like a couple seconds or a couple minutes. It's really, really good. Yeah, when my dad was on, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that too. We had a lot of fun in that one. Does my mom make me laugh? Probably not as much as my dad did. My dad was always kind of the prankster. I think he's kind of where I got it too. My mom's a little bit more, my mom's a little bit more, serious about things. But you know, she'll answer some questions, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Yeah, the Instant Pot is really great for steamed veggies, so definitely recommend that. Start with that because it's really easy to use, and it just takes a few minutes. Yeah, I guess I've heard of. I guess people can do that too. The thing I have is actually like a little strainer thing, so you don't have to just wait for the moisture to kind of come up and into the pot. It just permeates right through the pot, so or right through the strainer thing. Okay, Rhonda's got to go to work. She's an essential worker, so thanks for stopping in, Rhonda. It was good to see you. I haven't tried potatoes in the instant pot, let alone baked potatoes. That sounds interesting. How long have I been friends with Jordan? Oh, we got to be going on. I don't know, probably 18 years. It's been a long time. He had just come to California when I met him. I think he'd been here for 6 months or something like that. I heard that Boris Johnson was definitely on the mend. I don't know if he's back on the work yet, but he pulled through it, and I think they sent him home. Do the cats still meow in the morning? It's not one something to do every day, but I hear it periodically, don't I? And it's mainly this one because I can tell, they have very different meows, and yeah, it's this guy. This guy's got a lot to say at 4 in the morning. I did experiment a little bit with making wild rice in the Instant Pot, and that actually works really, really well. You remember when I did my wild rice and cream of mushroom and chicken soup that I did for one of my bites and nibble recipes a while back? And I told you that you had to cook the rice for 24 to 36 hours before you started anything else. Yeah, the Instant Pot speeds that up a lot. You can have really good wild rice in about an hour on the Instant Pot. Now, I was actually there's a little sheet of paper that comes with it when you get an Instant Pot that kind of tells you how to cook different types of veggies and rice and beans and stuff like that. And it isn't even close to being right on the wild rice. They recommend 25 minutes and 2 to 1 on the water. So if you have 1 cup of wild rice, they recommend 2 cups of water. But that didn't seem to work out too well for me. I tried that and I opened it up and there wasn't really much of a difference. What I've been doing is is about 10 to 1 on the water. And so, 1 cup of wild rice is 10 cups of water. And then you cook it for an hour and then you just have to strain it and it works really well. We worked on injection molding machines. They're kind of a pain to start up and shut down. Yeah, my only real experience with injection molding was in the CD world. And I never really did much of that. I was more at the beginning of the process. But I do know, how much waste there was in the CD world when they had to start up or shut down. Yeah, it was kind of scary with Boris Johnson because yeah, he was really sick for quite a while. Glad he's on the mend. I hear that Mike Lindell guy that does the My Pillows is also like doing masks and stuff like that. He's retrofitted his facility for that. It's great. It's great what the private sector will do if you just get the government out of the way. Hey, Jen's here. How you doing? I think a lot of the things that have made this virus so bad is just government overreacting to it. You got states like California and New Jersey that are just basically shutting down the whole state. It's like, you know, the cure here is worse than the disease. Yeah, and did anyone see that video? What state was it? It was like one of the eastern states. Some guy was caught not wearing a mask, and the police literally pulled him off of a train and arrested him for not wearing a mask. Shannon's been down on her and on her back, but she's getting better. That's good. Yeah, I'm the same way as Jordan. I'm not going to wear a mask or gloves. That's insane. The mask isn't really doing that much. It's maybe not a bad idea if you have it, if you have the virus and need to go out in public. But the clue to surviving coronavirus is just watch what you touch on your hands. Wash your hands when you get back from being in public, and don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. You'll be fine. Well, it's interesting how the grocery stores are responding to this. You know, my local HEB now has sneeze guards going all the way around each of the cashier stations. They have somebody waiting at both of the entrance to sanitize your shopping cart when you pull it out. You know, whatever. That's fine. That's a business making a business decision about how they want to deal with that and how they want to make their customers feel safe. I've also noticed that like bulk nuts and rice and coffee and stuff like that, they're not selling any of that right now. You know, they got the ones where you got the little trays where, hey, I need some rice, and you pull a little thing and the rice just comes out of a common bin. Yeah, they got that all blocked off. It's getting crazy. You know, the checkout stations there's almost more security now than there are in like some liquor stores in LA. You know, it's almost like they got bulletproof glass around entirely around the cashier. Are you trying to break into the kitty treats? Is that it? Huh? I see him stick his head in the bowl there, because I guarantee you he will. See, there he goes. He's going for it. They may be too far down there now, so yeah, now he's got to try and grab one with his paw. Oh yeah, he got one. Always thinking with your stomach. Yes, you are. Yeah, they still got people packing groceries here, and at least at the HEB I've been going to. I'm assuming they're probably all that way. I did notice today that they were all wearing masks, which is, you know, whatever. A lot of people not wearing masks in Dallas. It's mind blowing. Well, either that or they realize it isn't really as big a thing as they are being led to believe it is. I'm not wearing a mask either. Bunny Buckle thinks you have a beautiful coat. Is that true? Can you believe that someone abandoned them when they were 5 weeks old? How's Flash going? I haven't talked to Beth in a few days, but she sent me a video a couple days ago of Flash. Flash seems to be doing fine. There isn't really the problem with Moxie anymore. Moxie didn't know what to make of Flash at the beginning and tended to bark at her a lot, but I think she's gotten used to her now. So, yeah, we're trying to keep the yelling and bickering to a minimum. We got a little heated a while ago, but I think we kind of wore that down a little bit. I think someone just said you have a fat head. You're lucky that you don't get your fat head stuck in the kitty treat jar. I think I agree with them. Yes, I do. Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe that anyone would do that to them. They're such cute little kitties. Well, they aren't little anymore, but no, it hasn't really put the house hunting on hold. In fact, I went and did a house hunting vlog yesterday, which you'll see in a couple days. I'm still looking. In fact, I think this might be the, kind of almost the good time to do this because it might turn into a buyer's market if there's a whole bunch of people that want to sell their houses and not that many people that are wanting to buy houses. Then hopefully that'll result in some lower prices. That wouldn't be a bad thing at all. Get more house for my money. Hey Jeff Kidd, how are you? Any good barbecue videos lately? Oh, V&A's here too. Wow, everybody's showing up here all of a sudden. He's got half a video done, and he'll finish it in a couple days. Yeah, there we go. Got you a viewer, Jeff. And there's the bite. Belly rubs, even though nobody's asked. That's usually Jan's job, and she's really slacking today, not asking for the belly rubs. Can't smoke anything because of the weather. What's going on down there? Is it raining or? Ah, yes, it is. Yeah, getting a little bit of rain in Florida right now. So I guess I understand. We have another troll. I don't know. I don't see it. No, I guess I see who we're talking about here. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on him, see if he says anything more stupid. Hi Jeff, I'm doing good. I just got back from doing my video today. It's another going out and walking around in the woods kind of thing. But yeah, I got a few videos that are kind of interesting. I did a cooking vlog a couple days ago. I did a Why is it I keep forgetting what I did yesterday? I just finished editing it, so you'd think I'd know. But oh, that was what I did. I did a house hunting vlog yesterday. So a few flakes falling from the sky right now, huh? A little snow would be nice. You just drove down to your uncle and aunt's lake house to look at the water after being locked in your house for 4 weeks. Yeah, I can understand. I'm really glad I'm in Texas right now. There's a lot of great things I like about Texas, and one of the additional things that I've added to the list is in cases like this, they don't our governor doesn't turn into a totalitarian. We still have a freedom. He's leaving it to businesses and local municipalities to figure out how to deal with this thing. He's not doing, blanket, hey, everybody's got to shelter in place, because you get away what that's going to do, um, to preventing it with regards to preventing the disease, to what kind of an effect it's going to have on the economy. Still sub-0 Celsius. You can have all the snow. You just want spring to pop up. Yeah, well, it's definitely starting to pop here in Texas. It's still being a little cold, but it's starting to warm up a little bit. I think it's probably about 70 right now. It was actually kind of nice going out and walking around today. We've been up into the upper 80s in the last few days, and right now it's a little on the cool side. It's When I was out hiking today, I think it was probably 65. It wasn't too bad. It was nice to be out, and when you're out walking around, you work up a little bit of sweat, and then it feels good, the temperature. But I am definitely grateful I have an indoor job. Jeff's gonna send me a lake pic. That's cool. Yeah, if I when I get it here, I'll show it to you. I'm assuming he's gonna Facebook it to me here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's Jeff's lake photo. So that looks really nice. Looks like a nice day to be out there. Well, except for the fact that it's raining right now, right? But sometimes it's nice if you can just stay out of the rain. It's still nice when it rains. It's windy. Okay. Uh, I guess that tends to happen a little bit in Florida. But once again, yes, I'm guessing the government would like to see the economy turn back and return to normalcy. But I think at this point, I think it would be a better idea to let the individual businesses decide that. They know what the consequences are, and they know how they can adapt their business to, maintain the safety and yet still keep the business going. What is it specifically the politicians, that many of whom spent their whole life in politics, what is it they know better than the average Joe on the street? All right, thanks for stopping in, Peg. Bite wants to mug for the camera a little bit, so. How big of a house am I looking for? I'd like to find something comparable to what I had before. What I had before was good for me, even when it was just me, because I got, I don't know, probably a bunch of stuff that I need to pack into it. But it's going to be a little bit more of an issue now too, because anyone that comes to visit me is going to be visiting me. In the past, if somebody came to visit me, they could just drive 20 miles to my parents' house and stay with them because my parents had lots of extra room. But now it's just going to be me. So, if someone comes to visit, I'm going to need a spare bedroom that's a spare bedroom. So I don't know. We're going to play it by ear. Something comparable to what I had. One of the big things I'm looking for is a big backyard, and a few of the houses I looked at yesterday had really nice backyards. In fact, I think first and second one that I looked at yesterday are probably both of them would probably be good for me. The first one, especially, I think was the best of the four. I need an extra bedroom, so when you guys all come to visit me, I'll have a room. Yeah, ain't that the truth? I'm not in a house right now. No, I'm in an apartment. Yeah, if you've been watching the videos, basically ever since I moved to Texas, I'm in this kind of a dump of an apartment. I don't know. We've gotten a lot of "that's not how it's done" videos done though, so I don't know. I guess it was worth it. Yeah, no, this is just kind of a dumpy apartment. It was something that I got online and thought it was going to be good, and yeah, like I said, I got some good videos out of it. It's been a lot of there's been a lot of amusing stupid things that they do around here for in the name of repairing the apartment. Oh, Jeff Kidd gave us a "Bite looks bored" super chat, so you better appreciate that. You gonna say thank you to Jeff? Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm definitely with you there, Bill. We gotta get back to the point where we can have fun again. Well, the truth is, this probably is going to come back again because viruses like this tend to mutate, and next year it'll be a little bit different. It's just hopefully we can get to the point where we develop some level of herd mentality or herd immunity, and get to the point where most of the population is just kind of immune to it. I mean, it kind of seems like that's the case anyway, because I mean, you look at it. What do we got? One person in 1,000 has it, and of those who do get it, 98% recover. Yeah, see, definitely the kiddies are going to get their own bedroom. In fact, I got some ideas on uh, shelving and things I want to do for them when we get to that point. Yeah, I kind of had a computer room slash bedroom that Jordan used when he'd stay with me in California. When he came here and visited and stayed here early in January, he slept in here on the sofa bed. So it'd be nice to be able to have a dedicated bedroom, dedicated guest bedroom. Yeah, I did sort of have something that could be called an office in California. It was actually, kind of a common area on the upstairs where you could have retrofitted it into a fourth bedroom if you wanted it. Uh, but it was really great for just a little office. And I'm thinking right now, some of the stuff I've been looking at, uh, they're really into this open concept here in Texas, where it's just one kind of big giant room that's divided up into parts, and you have a living room and a kitchen, the dining room, all kind of tied together. And I'm thinking if I get something like that, I might just end up having the office be in the family room or living room somewhere. if we keep buying kitty treats, you're gonna have to make the shelves lower to the ground so Bike can get on them. Yeah, I know. Right now, it's about a 2 foot jump from one shelf to the next, and so far they still do well with that. Okay, we got a request to give you a belly rub and a cuddle. So there you go. Yeah, I never watched Downtown Abbey. I'm with Jan. I'm more into Benny Hill, Monty Python. That's more my speed. Perhaps I can give Bite a kiss on his forehead. Yeah, he ran off, so I don't know. Maybe later. Hi, Helena. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, we've been going for a while. So we'll be winding down in probably 10 or 15 minutes. Like I said, I usually go for about 2 hours, and we're an hour and 48 now, so we're doing all right. Yeah, I've heard a bunch of people that really like Downtown Abbey. It doesn't sound like anything that would be that interesting to me. Yeah, I agree with you. Benny Hill would make too many people's heads explode now. Oh, look who's back. I don't think Monty Python went as far as Benny Hill did, though. See what I mean about a tolerant kitty? How many kitties do you know would put up with this? Huh? There's the head down there. He just puts up with it. Telling him go and then he runs away. Life of Brian is definitely funny. Yeah. I like Holy Grail too. Those are my two favorites, I think. I was just watching Life of Brian for the first time and actually had the subtitles on for the opening music in the song or at the beginning of the movie. Holy cow, I never realized how funny those lyrics were. Yeah, but that's what makes it funny is that it isn't politically correct. Yeah, I guess I've seen a few I've got a few Mel Brooks movies. I don't put him in the same category though as like Monty Python. You know, it seems to me Mel Brooks's movies all kind of focus on like juvenile 13-year-old fart humor and stuff like that. I mean, I've got a few of Mel Brooks's movies. I've got what Spaceballs and what was it, History of the World Part Three, and I don't know what else he's got. Blazing Saddles. I mean, I went with Jordan on his Blazing Saddles vlog, so I mean, there's something there. But Young Frankenstein, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that one. I have that too. Naked Gun movies, those were fun too. You know, but that was kind of the same thing with Mel Brooks as Mel Brooks movies. Is a bunch of toilet humor, and it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, that's fine to a certain extent. Wow, wow. Yeah, that was where I used to see like a Monty Python too. Was on PBS. Hi, Laura. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Are You Being Served, but I think I heard of it. You just heard meowing. Yeah, that's probably this guy right here. He was meowing at me as he does when he thinks he deserves attention and isn't getting any, like right now. Everyone's talking about British humor. What do you think? You like British humor? I'm posting an Instant Pot recipe tonight. So yeah, you'll see that in about 4 hours. It was pretty good. I actually ended up eating all of it already. So yeah, Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder was great in just about anything he did. So Jan has 321 members on the Escaping the Mouse Facebook page. That's cool. Never would have imagined it going that far. But yeah, if you're not a member of the Facebook page and you're on Facebook, go check it out. It's called Escaping the Mouse. Let's see if we can get Jan to her goal here. She wants, I guess, 325. And I guess once we hit that goal, then the new goal will be 350, right? 400. Someone just put you and Nibble in the same category as Monty Python. What do you think about that? Huh? Definitely got the dry humor of Monty Python. Yeah, the French toast thing was really good. It was really tasty. It looked weird, but it tasted good. Yeah, I never watched Murder She Wrote. Wasn't really something I was into. Yeah, going over and subscribe to Jeff Kidd's video, Kids Smoking in the Backyard. Definitely want to do that. That'd be great. He does some good stuff. I'm definitely gonna study that a little bit more when I finally get a barbecue myself, because I do want to get to the point where I'm, you know, slow cooking and getting us, doing a smoker and stuff like that. Ugh. Hi, Sharon. Jeff just got done smoking a meatloaf. Things, but I don't know. How do you smoke a meatloaf? I guess you watch his video and find out, huh? Froze it before smoking it. Or am I 5 or 6 hours behind the UK? It's 10:15. It's 4:15, so it would appear that I'm 6 hours. And while we're talking about that, I'm going to mention it again. My mom has agreed that she is going to come on and going to phone us in on the live stream this Sunday. So it's going to be at 3 o'clock Texas time, which is, if you know what, the best way to calculate, I think, is most of you know what time my videos go live. They go live at 8 p.m. Texas time. I'm going to do this at 3 p.m. Texas time. So if you get a chance and know what time my videos usually go live, 5 hours earlier on Sunday, this coming Sunday, we're going to do a live stream, and my mom is going to call in or well, I'm going to call her, and you're going to get to talk to her like you did with my dad a few months ago. So we're really looking forward to that. I hope you all show up and have some really good questions for her. Yeah, I've been teasing the snot out of it in my videos for the last few days. I think the video that goes live tonight, I mentioned it. I forgot to do it on the one that goes live tomorrow night, but I mentioned it on the one I did today. So, I'm gonna tease about it every few days just to get a little enthusiasm, so people stop in and do that. Be nice if we get a bunch of people coming in. It will definitely be fun. So yeah, 3 o'clock in the afternoon this Sunday. And like I said, I'll probably start the live stream about 3 o'clock, and we'll probably go 10 or 15 minutes, and and then go and then I'll call her just to get everyone here. So she's not here. She's not here when nobody's here yet. Jeff's got to go get dinner ready. Yeah, I know. We're gonna wind this up here in a second too. So last chance if you got any questions for me. Now's your last chance. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Where was my mom from originally? My mom grew up in Wisconsin and in Minnesota, and then she moved here after she married my dad. Yeah, absolutely. You can ask her about anything. You can ask her about me. You can ask her about you know, her life growing up. It's going to be the same kind of thing that we did with my dad, because he didn't have a YouTube account at that point either. And so what would happen is I would read your questions off the screen to him, and then he'd respond. And I'll do the same thing with my mom. How's work going with the social distancing? They're getting really serious about the social distancing too. I was saying earlier in the video that we should have that I should have invested in all those social distancing placards and signs they're putting all over the place, because that definitely seems to be a growth industry right now. It seems like every company in the world wants those things, and man, if I'd started producing those things 4 weeks ago, I'd be a millionaire now. Yeah, the waterfall was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed that, PDXer. Does the waterfall usually rage like that this time of year? I don't know. This is my first time here, first year here, so I don't know what it looks like. But I'm guessing that probably happens after a strong rain like we got that day. You're looking forward to my mom spilling the beans about me growing up. Uh-oh. Now I'm concerned. Maybe we'll cancel this. This cost you $35 for 7 reusable masks. That sounds a little excessive. All right. Well, I think it sounds like we've kind of finished this off. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. My new video goes live in little under 4 hours. And like I said, remember to check out the live stream on Sunday, 3 o'clock Texas time. And my mom's going to be on, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So on the East Coast, it'll be 2 p.m. No, on the East Coast, it'll be 4 p.m. We 4 p.m. East Coast, 3 p.m. Texas time, 2 p.m. Mountain time, and 1 p.m. Pacific time. Now, for the rest of you in the world, it's going to be 5 hours before my videos normally go on. So I hope to see you all then. Probably won't do another live stream until then, because like I said, I go back to work tomorrow. But I might do another one of the all-day live streams with Bite and Nibble if I can get them to cooperate and actually be on camera a little bit this time. People didn't like looking at empty shelves. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll try that maybe. And I think that's all I got. So good night, everyone. Have a good night.